Hey guys, it's Gus, and a term that's been used in Neverwinter, well, at least since I've joined nearly 10 years ago, is the term best in slot, or the acronym is BIS. And what it refers to is an item in a specific spot, like your feet, or your shirt, or your ring, that would be the best item that you can equip there. And this is a term I rarely use. I'm trying not to ever use it. And the reason being is when you use that word, you're really putting your foot in your mouth because you're probably going to be wrong. If I had to guess, I would guess that nobody knows what the best in slot build is in Neverwinter. I'm not sure we have enough players testing this game in every combination possible to see what's actually best in slot, what does the best. And best in slot could be different for everybody. Everybody could have a different opinion of what it means. You know, some players may say whatever gives you the most damage. Some players might say whatever costs the least amount but gives you the maximum output. Me, it's different. When a new content comes out, for me, best in slot is whatever gives the group the best chance of success. And then when we start marginalizing the content, it's whatever allows the group to complete the content the fastest. Not what I'm going to do as a damage wise, because I think the majority of endgame players have figured out that the group's damage is greater than your personal damage. At least the majority. A lot of, well, I I gotta put a caveat with that. I've been doing a lot of last boss invites for the new dungeon, and there is apparently a lot of players who have not figured that out yet. But I think the majority have. You know, that's why I'm getting the last boss invites is because there's a lot of players who haven't figured that out yet. But I question best in slot because there's so many things that I would love to figure out. It's just really, really hard on console. I'm not saying it's impossible, but if we had tools that PC had, I'd have a much easier time of testing. And I got a few ideas. I'm just gonna show you because these go against the norm. You know, the norm is cap your stats. You know, and I got a video on that coming very soon. Cap your stats, best in slot. And I think we're well beyond that. So let me cover a couple things that I think that we just don't know enough about, where we can't disclude them from conversation. So let's see now. Let's see now. So I got four little things I want to cover real quick, just to give you an idea of how much I don't know. And I've been playing this game for a decade, and I still don't know about these things yet. So let me summon this boss. So I'm on the ranger, right? I'm on the warden ranger, and if you look at, we have a daily called Forest Ghost. It only costs 50. It costs 500 AP, not a full thousand. So if you have a full AP bar, you can cast this twice. And what this does over 5 seconds, it does 1,000 magnitude damage. And what's really good about this is it's if you use this feat Nature's Envoy for 10 seconds, you get a 15% outgoing damage increase. And what makes it even better is Blade Storm is affected by this. So one out of every 5 hits will get an extra 20% damage for AoE proc. So when you use this Force Ghost, you have a pretty good chance, 80% chance this is going to proc. So it's more than 1,000 magnitude. And so normally, you know, your AP bar will fill once a minute. So you can use your daily once a minute during the artifact call. But if you use a few extra things in your build to get a bunch of AP, I've gotten this where I can use this 6 times a minute, where I'm getting half my AP bar back every 10 seconds, literally. But that's kind of overboard because when you do that, you are sacrificing a lot. But I just want to show you just a couple adjustments. I can be using this 4 to 5 times a minute. Let me show you. So we have our pants, right? There's three different things that we can do that gives us AP. Not AP gain, but flat AP, where it adds directly to your AP bar. AP gain is good. But this is another way of getting AP. And there's other ways too, consumables, overloads, companions, whatever. But these AP I think are very underrated. For my build that I'm using on all shit, let me unsummon him. For my build that I'm using on all endgame content, I'm using these gloves from Moon Dancer, or yeah, I think it's Moon Dancer. That I'm getting AP gain because I really need the AP. I'm not getting it back fast enough. But so you can use those gloves. But for now, I'm just using these pants, shirt, and helmet as an example. So these pants give a bonus called advantageous action. Whenever you deal combat advantage, you have a 15% chance to gain 15% AP. Can only occur once every 5 seconds. And then this shirt is using Butcher's Zeal, which means when you deal more than 15% of your maximum hit points in a single blow, you're going to gain 10% AP, or 10 AP. Concur once every 5 seconds. And then there's this helmet. This thing is the only non shirt or pants in the game, I believe, that can give straight AP as well. It's called the Fancy Wraps. It's a very unique item, and this gives critical charge. Whenever you critically strike with your power, you have a 10% chance to gain 25 AP. And 25 AP is huge. Because remember, this shirt is giving 10, and these pants are giving 15. So these combined are giving 25. This helmet by itself is giving 25 AP. The problem with this helmet is, currently we're using like 3,000 item level helmet. So when you use this, you're losing just over 2,000 item level. And a lot of the stuff we're using, I'm using the combat advantage helmet, where it's giving me up to 10% combat advantage. So I'm losing 10% stats and 2k item level. But the thing is, the 10% stats in the current state of the game is, for, even for the hunter, it's pretty easy to make up for it without sacrificing much, if not anything, in your build, depending on the team's makeup. So really, you're losing 2,000, 2,400 item level, which is around 2% of your overall damage. So really, is this helmet gonna give you 2% more overall damage? I don't know. I don't know. It's so damn hard to test. I have done the dummy test with an AP maxed out build, and I am doing this. I'm able to kill the dummy pretty darn fast, but I don't have anybody to compare it to except myself, and my results are very inconsistent. They're off by 5-10 seconds, and there's this ranger, this mid-tier ranger who he asked me one time to try to make a build better than him, and it beat him by over a minute. And this build is faster than his build. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, but I just want to show you what this helmet does if you're using the helmet, shirt, and pants. So I'm just going to summon this dummy, right? And so I'm going to use my Forest Ghost. It's going to use half my AP bar. But it doesn't use half the AP immediately. It goes down over like 4 seconds or so. You're going to watch the AP bar go down, but you're going to see it fill up as it's going down. And you're going to see how fast it fills up. So I'm going to go like this, right? And I'm just going to use normal powers. And forgive me for chopping up this rotation, because I have not played the Warden forever. Yeah, and the AP bar is almost ready to go, right? And there we go. We got another AP. That was 500 AP we just got back. Yeah. And it's almost like one rotation, right? One quick rotation. And we got our AP back again. So you are losing stuff, but you're getting back 1,000 magnitude for it, plus whatever Bladestorm, if I got the name of it right, plus the 15% outgoing damage for 10 seconds. And you almost have it, this is almost taking just over 10 seconds. So it's almost like you can have a really high uptime. especially if you're using, tacticians and quick action. But I just want to show you how fast that AP is working. So this helmet may be very underrated. I don't know. I just so hard for me to test on my own. I would really have to do like have a set team running the same content over and over and over again so I know my results compared to them, very consistent results, and then make an AP build and then do the same thing over again to have some type of idea if it's even viable or even close to being, tops. I don't know. So there's AP. I don't think we know enough about AP. Maybe not for every class, but for at least for the Ranger. It's very unique, maybe for the Ranger. The other thing is, it's very common for people to say that this lightning enchant is best in slot. Well, maybe, but for 100% certainty, it is not best in slot every single time. And I think there's a very strong argument to say that for some classes in a 10-man group, it's never going to be best in slot because there's some classes that are getting a ton. There's some classes that have a ton of ratings, and they can build around this. Not lightning. They can build around either curse burn or poison thorn. So the lightning is really good. I use it like 99% of the time. But I think, in a lot of solo content where you don't have a lot of combat advantage, where you can get ditch your combat advantage stuff and put more into crit and accuracy, you can probably dish this lightning and put on actual straight damage. I don't know. Um, Possibly. But there is some content. I uploaded a video recently of us doing Zerial in a minute, and 100% certain this lightning would not have improved the build. The Curse Burn, I don't know which is better of these two. I think it's Curse. It's very hard to test these two. Man, we're so hamstrung on consoles by the lack of tools. They made this huge training room and they won't give us a combat tracker in here. I don't know why, but anyways. So, you know, um and even for the like Hunter who gets very little stats, this lightning enchant, is still very good, but in the future, right now we got a lot of really good companions giving us ratings. We got the Blue Fire Eye, we got we got Atrian, we got Harper Bard. We're getting stats from companions. And we have classes giving us stats like the Paladin Healer, or Paladin Tank. And then there's certain gears that supports are using. They're giving us stats too. I don't know if we can concretely say Celestial Lightning is best of slot in all content in the game. I know it's not, but this might still be really good. But its days might be numbered. We'll see in mod 30. They've proposed a lot of changes to a lot of classes next mod, and we don't know what gear we're getting. So we shall see. The other, I got two more little other things just to talk about because this may, right now is a downtime in the game. I'm very fortunate, right? So when you go to collections, um, I beat this mod. I got the collections. I got every item in this module has to offer me. So I'm done with this module and I'm working on Wild Space. But in the meantime, I'm helping other players get through the content and I'm testing. This is the time for me to test. So another thing, I am not convinced that, generally speaking, in most content I'm running with the Sapphire Ring and the Platinum Ring from Demon Web Pits. I am not certain these are best in slot anymore, or have been. This Band of Air Ring and this Ring of Darkness are looking really good right now, especially on like uh, the Warden, who hits much, much faster than the Hunter does for a Ranger class. These actually give you straight up damage. And if you can make up for the item level loss, because you're losing 750 item level with these, uh, and you can make up for the ratings. This damage that these give you might be more than the actual. It might be a net gain. It's so hard for me to test. So I'm gonna give you an example. So let's unsummon her. I don't want to mess up the damage log. Let's summon him. Let's see how much let's see how much this at will I'm using. So my at will just hit for 30. It hit for raw pressure. Rapid shot hit for 33,612. So I think it was a deflect. Yeah, it was a deflect. 40,444. So let's see for non crit or for crit combat advantage non deflect it was 40. It was look at touch of wind 38,000. That was dealing as much as the 40,400. Well, almost as much as a crit combat advantage non deflected. So that's equivalent to an extra at will, and that will is taking me zero point 0.4 seconds. So I'm getting extra zero point 0.4 seconds worth of damage in the artifact column. Who knows how many times that's gonna proc? Because that has a 10% chance. And I have multiple powers that can proc it going on at once. Every hit from Thorn Ward and Splits the Sky can proc it. So let's go and clear out our damage log, and I'm just gonna hit this for like 10 seconds to see how many bandit air hit procs we get. Okay, so we'll go like this. So I'm just going like this, and I'll wait till the split the skies over, and then we'll go look through. And we got life lesson shit, and I had raw pressure on him. See how many there's a touch of wind, 46,000, nice. So one, two, and let's see, two, three. So it's proc 3 times in about 10 seconds already. And that might be it. We'll see. We'll see if we got lucky. Unless I missed one. We know we got at least three, right? All right, so we got three. So that's three extra at wills worth of damage in that roughly 10 seconds. That's a shitload of damage. So I don't think everybody's so infatuated with stats, but I think damage is being overlooked. But I can't say that for certainty. Um, It would just be nice if more people would test it. But the problem is Bandit Air is such a pain in the ass to get, and if you don't have it, you're I don't recommend getting it unless we know it's worth it. And then so check this out. So we got a mount insignia bonus. I don't think we know enough about. It's called Artificer's Enticement. When you use an artifact, your cooldowns are reduced by 3 seconds. And I think this has some potential, and I don't think we know enough about it yet. We just don't have enough players, I think, in the community testing. If they know, they're just not saying anything. So I think I have it on. Yeah, I got it equipped on this. So check this out. So normally, a rotation would look like this. I don't even want to use my artifact because I have to. So I'll just use my daily, but I won't use my artifact, right? So normally, let's dismiss. I can't. So normally I'll use 6 encounters daily, and then my 6 encounters are back again, right? So I'll go like this, but I'm not going to use the mount because I don't want to. Oh, there we go. So we just did 6, and then you see we got 3 or 4 seconds cooldown right there, right? That's a long time in combat. So check this out. If you use, so we basically did 12 encounters back to back. But if you use that mount insignia bonus, you can do 6 more encounters. So you're doing 18 straight encounters. Let me see if I can get it on my first try. So we'll set that. I'll probably mess it up, but we'll see. So I'm going to go 6 encounters. I'm going to do artifact. I'm going to do 6 encounters. I'm going to do daily, mount power, 6 encounters. Yeah, no at wills. There's gonna be one spot where it depends. Sometimes it goes straight, sometimes it has like a quarter, maybe a fifth of a second. Oh, and I'm gonna use the tool belt items. So I'm gonna do 6 encounters, artifact, tool belt, 6 encounters, daily, mount, 6 encounters. And then I'll squeeze in 2 extra encounters in between. So it'll be really 20 straight encounters, right? So check this out. Here we go. And there's that little half second. Daily. And there's the 20th one right there. So look at that. 20 straight encounters with no at wills. And I had that, I don't even think it was a half a second. It was like a quarter of a second or so. Where I could have snuck in something. But sometimes that doesn't happen. It just depends on like if I have the shirt that reduces cooldowns proc or not. But there's a lot. So if that an extra 6 encounters every minute is a lot of extra encounters, and for other classes like that only like the guardian fighter or well anybody else, an extra 3 encounters a minute is a big deal. So the thing is I don't think we know enough because we don't have enough people testing this Insignia power to know if it's worth it or not. All I know is if I can squeeze in an extra 6 encounters before the second, and third, and fourth, and fifth artifact call, it's freaking huge. Or if everybody's using it before the first artifact call, we wait 10 seconds so we can get, or we wait 5 seconds before we do it so I can get those we can all get a rotation off before we proc it. There's so much we don't know that it makes it very hard to say in the game what's best in slot. Uh, we will, time will tell. And whatever's best in slot today, if there is such thing, will undoubtedly change when Module 30 comes. But I just want to throw out that there's a lot of stuff we don't know. And if you do know any of this, please let me know in the comments below because there's not a lot of information flowing in the game right now. But I thought this might be an interesting topic to discuss. Well, see you later. Stay classy, everyone. See you soon.